Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us. For this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the MPG 02, which is the Masterpiece Trainbots, and this one is Getsuei. So what we're going to do, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to do some comparisons with him and his original little Generation 1 self we've got there. And as I've still got Shuki as well, we can do some comparisons or some display ideas and see how he looks next to him. Right, as I'm opening this up, I need to thank Robot Recruits. That's the online shop in the UK which I purchased this from, and as you can see, they got this to me nice and safely. And as I've said on the previous video for Shuki, this is, I suppose, if I'm being honest, the main reason I got back into Masterpiece collecting, because I just love the Japanese Transformers, and I just think that Raiden is spectacular. Now, I've seen obviously Moon Studios, and I also think that is spectacular, and I can't wait to see this as well. So we've got the beautiful box there. There is Getsuei in both modes. Lovely reflective foil writing there, again to give you the impression, and as it should be, you know, that it is a premium product. We've got, funnily enough, there they are both together, and that is probably, we can see, of course, he's going to be a right leg. Right, let's actually have a look inside the packaging. They are releasing these really sort of slow, aren't they? And I'm quite surprised at how well they've done. Obviously, the trains and the train bots, in fact, Raiden have always been really popular in Japan. But it also does seem, and rightly so, that their appeal is worldwide, shall we say. Right, there he is, all stuck neatly in there. What I'm going to do, because it's sellotaped, is it? Yeah, it's all sellotaped down. I'm going to set him free from there and come straight back to you. Righty then, so we've set him free from the packaging, and we're going to do some first impressions of the train first and foremost, purely because that's, of course, how I've just took it out. So it looks really good. I mean, really good. This genuinely does, and I've heard people say this, and I thought perhaps they were being a bit over the top, and seeing on the pictures, it does genuinely look like a model train. The wheels on the bottom are all die cast. It does feel weighty. It's just a beautiful alternate mode. I mean, look at the mold in detail inside there on the windows, and there was even like windscreen wipers, all the detail there, all the grills on the side. Underside as well looks really good, to be honest. You can't really tell at all that it's a robot. It does look good. They've just come apart ever so slightly. Yeah, you know, nothing much else to say. These are die cast as well. We can attach these. Let's pop this down here for a second. These are die cast, and we can pop these on the roof as well. Have I got them the right way around? Probably not. Let's have a look. Let's have a look while I'm struggling with this. There we go. That's better. These will fit on like so. I keep getting them wrong, don't I? There we go. Oh, is it going to fit in? Let's have a look. That's better. And of course, then it should fit on the track. So we've got the tracks here. These will also just snap together like so. So you can display if you wanted to. If these going to line up, it's so difficult reaching around the camera and getting them to line up as well. All right, let's have a look at that. There we go. So yeah, you can display. I've just knocked it straight back off. You can display on the tracks if you want to. Let's just get rid of that glare a second. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. We've also got this again. It doesn't come with the actual stand, but there's a little notch there. This will fit underneath right there. There's a screw hole right through there, so we can pop this in. Oh, that's probably why that's separated. There we go. And then, of course, if you wanted to with the stand, again, unfortunately, it doesn't come with the stand, but then you can do the flying train scene that was, of course, in the Headmaster's cartoon. You can as well, you can store the gun. You can open up the front part here like so, and you've got a slot down there, so you can take the gun. Before I do this, this is the Generation 1 original, and then this is the new one, so you can again see the lovely, I don't want to say homage because it's the same guy. It's just an updated and much bigger version of it. So we can slot this down there like so. There we go. And then this will come over and indeed cover it all back up. While we're talking about Generation 1, here is the original Generation 1 figure. And as you can see, it is much bigger. It really is. It's huge. I don't believe it's as big as the Moon Studios. Let me just take these off for now, just so I can do this. But the homage is fantastic. Yeah, it's obviously in a different league, and of course it's, you know, there's 40 years or so engineering between the two of them, so it looks really, really good. There's nothing else for me to say, to be honest, about the alternate mode. It is spectacular, it does look great, but I imagine most people like myself are not going to be buying this for the alternate mode. So I'm going to do things slightly differently with this video. What we're going to do, because he's going to be a leg, we're going to have a look at him in his combiner mode next, before looking at him in the robot. So when we come back, he's going to be in the leg. Right then, we're back, and as you can see, he's already in his, I suppose, combiner leg mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. A couple of reasons. One is to keep the main length of the video down, and two is not to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want to have it spoiled for them. One thing I will say is they are very, I suppose, intricate transformation processes, but if you do want to see them, they will be uploaded separately. So this actually looks really good. This is, as I say, the leg mode. You can pretty much make out exactly what sort of happened anyway. But what looks good as well is there's going to be quite a bit of articulation. So we know it's going to be the right leg. So you've got the movement there. You've also got some movement here as well. This will move backwards and forwards. I don't know exactly how much. I don't want to overly pressurize it because we don't know yet. Everything's sort of tucked away relatively nicely as well, to be honest. They do sort of cover most of the things up with all these folding out panels and side flaps, etc. Just to give you an idea again of scale and size compared to the original, what we've got here then is this was the original Raiden's leg, which you can see there, and indeed you can see much better here now, to give you an idea of how big I suppose potentially this guy's going to be. I mean, fingers crossed he's going to be much bigger than Menasor that we've got at the moment, because he's only going up to there at the moment. That's where he's going up to the original, and this is coming up another good, you know, probably half, about 3-4 inches more, hopefully. Well, 3 inches definitely. Again, this mode looks really good. The train does look really good. I've been really lucky with mine. Again, I've heard people have had breakages and stuff. There's nothing wrong with this at all with regards to anything that I've done to it. There's lots of movement. If I want to be perhaps overly picky, they perhaps over-engineered some of it. Some of the transformation processes are very complicated, let's be honest. Some of the steps to do it are really quite difficult, but it's, again, you'll see in the video if you want to watch it. The other reason I say is time. It does take a long time to get the tutorials done properly, but there we go. I've just transformed him back again to give you an idea of how big this guy is, but you can still see all the detail on it. It looks great. I'm hoping, as I say, that the fully combined mode is going to be looking good, because I'm not going to be doing multi-displays with this guy. It's just going to be in Raiden, and again, hoping that he looks as good as this one does. So what we're going to do now, we're going to come back. He's going to be in robot mode. We'll do a few more comparisons and display ideas quickly. Funnily enough, actually, there's Shuki next to him to give you an idea how big that is. But then, yes, we'll come back for the final part now with him in his robot mode. So then, back for the final time with him in his robot mode to see how he looks with the other trainbot, and indeed compare him with his original self. Now, from the front, not too bad at all. He's pretty damn good from the front, to be honest. But overall, as you'll see, and I'm pretty sure you can guess already, if I turn to the side, there is a lot of kibble. Same as pretty much with Shuki, to be fair, but even more so with this. And even in the instructions, it wants you to leave this part up like so, which absolutely no way am I going to be leaving that up there like that. It just doesn't do it any favors. And I do actually think it looks way better like that. But as you can see, we've got, I suppose it's just too much kibble. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, articulation-wise, it's great. Don't get me wrong. Look, head sculpt is absolutely beautiful. Full rotation, up and down. Shoulders exactly the same. You've got the swivel underneath there. You've got the bicep flexion. You've got the wrist swivel. You've got the waist. Loads of articulation in the waist. You've got the swivel as well. You've got, of course, full rotation, angles, all of it in the hips. You can hear there on ratchets there, out to the side. Knee bend again on ratchets. Ankle tilt and rock again, etc. Everything you'd expect. And as I say, from the front, it's not too bad. But even from the side, not only have you got a gap there in the chest, which there's no real reason to be, I don't understand why they didn't fold these down a little more. You know, even in obviously for the other mode, for the leg mode, you could fold that out I don't understand why they couldn't just fold them perhaps under themselves, and maybe even that. Again, perhaps, I don't know. I mean, the engineers are incredibly talented people, but with this, I don't know. Did they maybe try and rush it because obviously Moon Studios was coming out? It is a great homage from the first one. It is. I mean, you can't fault that. Sorry, you can't say anything any different. It does look exactly like it. Maybe that's why they want the bit at the top, because again of the homage to G1. This isn't on a balance on carpet, is it? But you can see he definitely is. He's a fantastic homage, and he is a much better updated figure. And even if, let's pop his gun in his hands as well, just to give him that sort of full look. Let's see if it'll fit in. I've not even done this yet, so I probably should. Oh no, there you go. It will go in. And again, it looks okay. That's all I'm trying to say. I mean, I'm only a teeny disappointed, but I did expect him from the pictures to see that, but I didn't realise it would protrude so far back. I think the only saving grace is I think that most people will be combining him into this guy, and that's going to give you, again, an idea of just how big that he is going to be. But as I said, from the front, I don't really know what to say. I'm a little bit lost for words because I'm a little bit surprised, because I suppose I thought them would be quite a bit better. And as I said, I got back into collecting the Masterpiece figures because of these guys. I still think Shuki perhaps is better, even though there is still a load of kibble on the back of him, but I do prefer Shuki. And I did say the same thing with them. Perhaps they could have folded them down just a little bit as well. Otherwise, I suppose let's show you how big he is compared to some standard figures, maybe, just to give you an idea of some size. So there is a deluxe crankcase, which you can see he is, yeah, of course he's a lot bigger than that. And then I've got, funnily enough, let's have a look. I've got a Commander class Rodimus nearby. He's a little bit bigger than him, but I don't think he's as big as Leader class Laser Optimus Prime. I think the Masterpieces have always been a little bit niche anyway, but even more so with this particular toy line, with the fact obviously that it is the Japanese versions of the trainbots. I've just managed to find Menasor at the side, which unfortunately for me isn't complete yet, but I'm hoping and I'm thinking that he's going to be, at least when he's combined, at least as big as this. So here's hoping anyway. I suppose in summary, ironically enough, yeah, tray mode is beautiful. If you want to display in tray mode, fantastic. Leg mode looks really good, and this guy looks really good at the front. Now, is that good enough from a premium figure? I'm not too sure. I brought this more, and I'm probably reviewing this more with my heart than my head, because I love the trainbots and love the homage to Japan. But as I said, having to be honest, there's a lot of kibble at the back that I think perhaps they could have tucked away or folded up just that little bit more. But I think, in all honesty, there's not really much more to say about him. It's going to be totally everybody's individual opinion anyway, but I think more people are going to be really buying these are the ones that are really into Japanese figures and Japanese Transformers. So I think there's a little niche for them, but I'd like to see what the rest of them look like. And of course, the most important thing is let's see what they look like combined. Let me know what you think of them in the comments, guys. Take care.